Hey everyone, it's December the 1st, 31 days left in 2025. So what? Who cares, right? 2026 is here, big deal. What are we going to do today? Look, I'm not saying don't plan for 2026 or I just don't rate my years anymore. I just really don't do that. I used to, like it mattered, but what I want to chat with you guys about today, I'm going to get through this as fast as possible, is a little bit more in depth on my story and timelines because timelines are tough, right? It's hard to look at when am I gonna start seeing something? When is this going to happen for me? And I'm just gonna re-emphasize Brian's timeline because it's not a good one. It ended up pretty good, and it's still going. But 6 years ago, Black Friday always brings this up for me because that's when I chose to make a decision. And you guys hear me talk about these three words a lot: decide, commit, focus. And in 2019, I took advantage of a Black Friday offer that I was scared to do. I had the money, I was scared to do it because all the stuff like, oh, hey, here we go again. It's another side hustle. I hear the voice of my wife. Is this going to be just another Brian thing? It's like, man, all that stuff is just icky. But this time was different. And this time was different because I made a decision. Decide. I decided. And when you decide, you are powerful. This is something that I talk about a lot. I decided, and I remember this moment vividly still. I remember where I was. I remember exactly what I said. I said, I'm no longer going to tolerate my life. I'm not going to allow my self-limiting beliefs and my fears and my doubts get in the way of what I know I'm capable of. And that moment and those words came from the work that I had been doing on me for 2 years prior to that. 2 years prior to that, I was working on my mindset. This is where kind of Mindset School was born. 8 years ago, was Mindset School was just maybe a thought, or that's where it started. The transformation really started because of all the side hustle attempts that didn't work. And I don't even know if you want to call them attempts. Like I just wasn't really trying. I wasn't really trying. The effort wasn't there. Relying on a lot of talent and ability and looking for hacks and shortcuts and all the things, and none of that stuff works. It's my recent post in Schoolers, which is effort is the hack, right? And it always will be. And look, there are people out there that are going to have shortcuts and effort and let them do it. It's not what I believe in. I believe in busting your ass. That's what I believe in, and I'm going to do it until they take me away. And that could be soon in terms of like the crazy police, but I have to put sarcasm in there. Back to the story here, which is I see the Black Friday deal. It's for a real estate group. I thought I was going to be a real estate person. I wanted to be an owner, a property owner. I wanted to own properties. I wanted to own buildings and commercial and, all the things. Like I was just, in the jets and the cars and all that crap. I wanted all of it. Seriously, I did. And I thought that was my path. I just wanted money. It wasn't until my son told me the words, which is he doesn't like when I left, where it was like, okay, I really got to do something about that. But I still went the real estate path. And just like most of us, I took the free thing from the real estate people. And then I bought the course. It was a $997 course, marked down $200 that I took advantage of on Black Friday. I had a strategy call with them. It was just, we've all been through this, the strategy call, right? I ended up signing up for their coaching program less than a month later. It was probably like 2 or 3 weeks. It was a significant amount of money. It was six figures by the time it was all said and done. So for those of you who've talked about, I've spent money and I got nothing out of it. Okay, I got a lot out of it, but it was because of what I did, which is the commitment part. So decide is the first part, commitment is the second part. And the commitment was just kind of surrendering. I don't know it all. Quit thinking that you do, because you don't. There's people that know more than me, that are better than me, that in this realm. And I'm going to listen and I'm going to do the stuff, and I'm going to commit to a timeline. And that timeline was 3 years, because that's what they told me to do. Then they later changed it to 7 years, which they're 100% right on. Again, we're talking about an 8-year window here for me. 7 years was the commitment. I didn't commit for 7 years because I blew the whole damn thing up. You guys know that story. But it worked very well. And during that time, from in the beginning, from the Black Friday all the way into the beginning where I was able to leave my job after 9 months, I would describe the whole thing as roller coaster. Not, oh, this good stuff happened, this bad stuff happened. Like stuff happened, a lot of stuff happened. Some of it was, for lack of a better word, really good. Some of it was really bad. And I just kept going. That's what I always think about is I just kept working through it because of all the work that I had done and had been doing in that group. That group was heavy, heavy, heavy mindset, like because people just could not get out of their brains. And that was something that really set me apart. So it had started years ago. There was no way that I saw this. A lot of you are trying to see the business, all of it. There is no way. I'm telling you, and I've told you this multiple times, 3 years ago, I did not see Mindset School. I didn't. I started to realize that people wanted my help and that maybe I could turn it into something, but I was still focused on real estate, still focused on it. And that's what I thought I was going to be until I decided that I didn't want that anymore. And I chose not to do it. And I ended it. I ended it because it didn't align with the person that I was trying to become or who I wanted to be. So I got rid of it. And I have no regrets over that. Zero, none. I would not have done anything different. The focus part has something that has always just stuck with me since that time because I was not focused prior to 2019. It started in 2017 where I really started working on me and working on mindset, developing the right attitude and the right mindset so that I could be successful. And for me, that was the separator. When I looked at the mastermind group that I was in, the real estate, like Brian's doing deals because he's in his market, because he has a sales background, because. And it was like they were just pointing at all these things. There's no way he could just do it. There's no way he could just do it because he worked really hard and did a lot and showed up all the time. That couldn't be possible. Everyone was taught the same exact thing. Everyone had the same opportunity. It was a handful of us that did it. Most people did middle of the road stuff and a bunch of people did nothing. And to quote ChatGPT, it's like, this is not theory. This is real life, guys. And it will continue to occur. We're in a virtual setting right now, but look to your left, look to your right. 6 months from now, a year from now, the room is going to look different. There's going to be people that are here now that will not be here. There will be new people here. It is a fact. It is an absolute fact, and I've seen it over and over again. And it will never not be true. And it doesn't mean that the people who leave or come and go are not committed or people just decide to do different things or life happens. It's happened inside this mastermind. It happened inside the real estate group. And you guys have probably seen it in your own lives. Like people come and go. Go look at the schoolers. For those of you who have school communities or in the schoolers plat, go look there now. Take a screenshot of the leaderboard. It'll look very different 6 months from now. Very different. In a year from now, it could look completely different. Okay, that's a promise. Go screenshot it now and check it in 6 months. Where I'm going with this is the timeline piece. All right, and I don't want to scare anybody. The timeline and the business that you start is not the one that you end up with, and so many of us are still looking at making it right from the get-go, like picking the perfect thing. And I suffered from that so much. Real estate, that's the thing. This is the thing that I'm going to stick with. Like, if I look back at my plan, like I would have owned Chicago by now, and I don't. I have one property left, and it's not by choice. It's just I have to wait until I have to wait until they cash it out, right? But I have one. That's it. And it's very easy to manage. Otherwise, I'm out of the real estate business. I did not see Mindset School. I have vision and plan for it moving forward in the future, but I don't know what it's going to look like. I really don't. Someone messaged me or put something in Mindset School and was like, hey, the group used to be this, but now it's this. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. And that wasn't my intent. And it's just, I started it in April and it looks much different, even though largely I'm teaching a lot of the same stuff. In terms of mindset, there's a lot of new stuff in here. And that's just the direction the group went in. And that's why I launched to an empty room. And I didn't spend a lot of time figuring out what was going to be in there and having everything super, super dialed in. is because I knew this would happen because I have experience with it, which is why I tell all of you, do not stress out over this because it will look different. Anyone who has a business right now, it will look different 6 months from now, 12 months from now. Whether you have a service business, whether you have a school community, whether you have a coaching program, or not everyone's doing school here. A lot of people are, but not everyone is. It will look different. And that's okay. And that's what I want you to kind of loosen the grip on a little bit and the timeline. I'm not saying that you got to have an 8-year thing happening here, but in that it did not take me 8 years to get here from like an income standpoint. Like a lot of good stuff happened. Okay. Let's talk about income because I don't think I mentioned it in this video. I've had months where I've made over $50,000 and I've had months where I've made absolutely nothing. Right. And most people won't say that. They won't. I've had months where I've made zero. That includes in the beginning of my real estate business, and that includes in the beginning of my coaching business. I literally made nothing. Now, I've had other months where I made a very little amount of money. And that uncertainty freaks a lot of people out. And it never sits well with me, but I also know that if I just continue to do the same stuff and showing up over and over again, I know that the rules will reveal themselves, which is most people are going to quit. They're going to dabble. They're going to get frustrated. It's so easy to beat people. That has been proven. You've seen it. A lot of you know it yourself. It is not hard to beat people, not because they're not good or they're not qualified. It's because they just don't stick around. They can't stick around. Talking to you about an 8-year journey right now, and I'm still here. It hasn't gone exactly how I wanted it to go. That's life. It doesn't work out the way you want it to. The timeline certainly did not work out the way that I wanted it to, even though people told me that, hey, it's going to be 7 years. 7 years, you'll start finding your groove. And that's kind of true. That's where I feel like, okay, now I'm really starting to figure this stuff out, and I still have a lot to learn. So takeaways here for you are decide, commit, focus. Those 3 words are really, really powerful. It's a reminder when you decide you are powerful. Make a decision, right? Decide that you're going to do this, whatever that is for you. I'm not saying you got to decide on the business. Just make a decision. And it shouldn't take you you shouldn't spend a lot of effort deciding whether or not you want to change your life. Because if you are, then you don't. So make the decision, make a commitment. The commitment is that you are going to do this, and you're going to give yourself a realistic timeline, and you're going to put effort into this, and you're going to have to make some sacrifices. And then the focus part is so important. You have to stay the course. Every time you pivot, you reset the clock. Now, by a pivot, I mean completely changing your business idea. Okay, I'm going to do this one thing, and then 3 months later it doesn't work out, or 4 months later it doesn't work out. I'm going to go to the next thing. It's like a lot of the times there's just one big problem that you have to solve, and if you solve that one, then you won't have to pivot. Sometimes you have to pivot. I get that, but those are the 3 words that I want you to take away from this. And just understand that none of this went the way that I wanted it to go. I'm not asking any of you to wait 8 years because I did not. I was out in 9 months and I had 2.5 times my income in 18 months. And then I blew the whole thing up. So pay attention, please, and learn from me because there's a lot of lessons that I've gone through that I've seen in my life that I can help you all with. And this is also a reminder because this is going in both groups. If you have not booked your one-to-one call with me, what are you waiting for? Honestly, like I can help you. If you're in Mindset School and you go into the Start Here course, into the roadblock call section, look at what all the people have said about their call with me, their one-to-one call with me. I put a bunch of testimonials in there last night. I asked no one to do that. They all did that on their own. So get your call booked with me. I will help you, and I don't sell anything on the calls. So there's no reason for you not to show up. All right. That's it. 15 minutes. That's a long one. I'm going to end it now. There's more stuff coming out this week and today. A quick update on me personally. I am going to be away on Thursday and Friday, so there will be no calls and very limited Brian. It's my sister's 50th birthday, and I'm going to celebrate it with her and my family. So it's going to be amazing. All right, let's go. Let's make it a great day, week, month, end of 2025, and let's roll into 26 on a rocket ship, I guess. Yeah, good. If you have any thoughts or comments, leave them below.